Hi, my name is Yin Ming.
And my name is Andre Azari Harbi.
Hi, my name is Yeskel Nicolas Susanto.
Hi, my name is Christiana Natasha and we will be presenting about Gami Chicken business strategy. I will explain about the presentation outline. First, we will explain about the background, internal environment, external environment, then the business level strategy, and then the last we will explain about the recommendation. Does Gami Chicken need expansion or not?
Gami Chicken and Beer is a Korean restaurant specializing in Korean-style fried chicken, and it is a network of franchise based in Melbourne. Established in 2006, the founder Ryo Yoon, who has a great experience in Korean cuisine, decided to perfect the fried chicken recipe and share this favorite food of his to the world. Gami can be considered as one of the pioneers in introducing Korean fried chicken into the Australian market and has changed consumers' perspective about Korean delicacy. Korean barbecue has been the center of Korean delicacy for so long that after Gami was established, the Australians' expectation towards Korean delicacy were leveraged and renewed. Gami Chicken ensures that all ingredients from chickens, cheese to veggies and even the beers are all locally sourced. The best ingredients are carefully selected to deliver best quality to their consumer. Furthermore, Gami does not only capitalize on their foods, but also provide enjoyable spaces and excellent service, in which they believe this combination will lead to a better consumer satisfaction.
To start off, we need to define what sustainable competitive advantage is. According to Greenwald and Kahn 2005, sustainable competitive advantage can only exist when a firm can do what competitors cannot do. Grant, Butler, and Murray 2013 also discussed that it can be gained by creating better and greater value to customers compared to a firm's rivals. So it occurs when a firm creates a value to customer while its competitors are unable to duplicate or find too costly to imitate. To determine whether Gami Chicken has a sustainable competitive advantage, we need to discuss a bit further the foundations of competitive advantage, which also known as the internal environment. They are resources, capabilities, and core competencies. Resources are inputs into a firm's production process and the source of a firm's capabilities. There are two types of resources. They are tangible and intangible resources. Tangible resources can be observed and quantified, and hence they can be easily benchmarked by other competitors. On the other hand, intangible resources cannot be observed or quantified. Therefore, they are difficult for competitors to analyze and imitate. That is why many firms prefer to rely on them rather than on tangible resources as the foundation for their capabilities. Intangible resources can also be leveraged or simultaneously used. There are four main categories for Gami's tangible resources, which are financial, organizational, physical, and technological resources. Gami Chicken has a strong financial power with 16.3 million turnover in 2018. It means they have sufficient finances to run the business and purchase materials, raw ingredients, or other necessities for cooking and delivering services. Gami Chicken also has a good supplier network to source local ingredients from local businesses. And they have 14 stores throughout Australia, which is 11 in Victoria, and cooking equipment that supports mass production of fried chicken to suit growing demand. And finally, under the tangible resources, they also have the copyrights of their brand, which include branding, name, logo, and color. Moreover, there are three main categories for Gami's intangible resources, which include human, innovation, and reputational resources. Under human resources, they have skills and recipe to make Korean fried chicken as well as in-house services. As discussed before, these are difficult for competitors to analyze and imitate because it's about ideas and knowledge. It's not something that can be easily seen. Gami Chicken also have what's called innovation by offering a variety of choices which include boneless or whole chicken and various flavors, for instance, original, sweet, chili, soy garlic, spicy, as well as their constantly updated menu. And finally, they have a very good reputation. They have well-established brand with good reputation and awareness. I would say most of Asians or even Australians in Melbourne know what Gami Chicken is. Furthermore, According to Hansen, Heath, Ireland, and Hoskinson 2014, it is vital to ensure a good balance of both tangible and intangible resources. Many processes involving the usage of tangible assets require a strong support of intangible resources. In Gami's chicken's context, for example, the business can purchase a large supply of raw ingredients to produce their signature fried chicken. However, if there is not enough equipment or workers to cook them, Gami may not be able to satisfy the demand and could further incur unnecessary storage costs. Therefore, it is essential to ensure a good balance of both tangible and intangible resources. Next, we're going to look at the second foundations of competitive advantage, which is the capabilities. Capabilities are the capacity for a set of resources to perform a task or activity in an integrated manner from production, distribution to service. According to Hansen and others, 2014, they are built when the firm combines tangible and intangible resources, and capabilities are the foundation of core competencies. From our analysis, we found that Gami Chicken and Beer has three capabilities which include manufacturing, marketing, and distribution capabilities. They have the ability to produce delicious food with locally sourced quality ingredients. They also effectively use social media such as Instagram and Facebook to promote the brand as updating customers with the latest promotions. They also have the ability to leverage available distribution channels. For example, easy online ordering or booking and partnering with Foodora and Uber Eats to deliver food to customers' doorstep. According to Hansen and others 2014, to be considered as core competencies and in turn a potential source of competitive advantage, Gami Chicken and Beer's capabilities must meet the following four criteria. Therefore, we need to link and match Gami Chicken's capabilities with these criteria. The four criteria are valuable capabilities, rare capabilities, inimitable capabilities, and non-substitutable capabilities. First, valuable capabilities allow the firm to exploit opportunities or neutralize threats in its external environment. In this context, we found that Gami Chicken is able to deliver an authentic Korean food style while remaining local friendly. They are able to deliver something that's valuable to customers. Second, rare capabilities are capabilities that few, if any, competitors possess. If capabilities possessed by many rivals, then they are unlikely to become core competencies for any of the involved firms. We analyzed that Gami Chicken offers a great variety of choices across 11 strategic locations in Melbourne compared to its niche rivals who are based only in Melbourne CBD. The third one is inimitable capabilities, are capabilities that other firms cannot easily develop. We found that Gami Chicken is a well-established brand inspired by the culture of sharing and joy. And we realized that it is difficult for competitors to establish a new Korean food or restaurant in Melbourne. And last, non-substitutable capabilities are capabilities that do not have strategic equivalence. We found that Gami has their unique approaches in marketing with actively use of social media to attract customers' interest and also its superior customer service. Core competencies are capabilities that provide the firm competitive advantage over its competitors or activities that a company performs exceptionally better than its competitors. They will differentiate the firm from other rivals. As we have discussed previously in the four criteria of sustainable competitive advantage section, we found that Gami Chicken capabilities met the four criteria and considered as their core competencies and in turn a potential source of competitive advantage.
For the scope of the industry, Gami Chicken will be categorized under restaurant and takeaway chicken shop industry, since there are no niche industry that this restaurant can fall under. Understanding the restaurant industry will provide information for the general environment, while the chicken takeaway segment will be more specific. In evaluating the industry, we will use the information in the chicken takeaway industry as the restaurant industry is highly fragmented.
As we look at the graph, the market is expected to be stable over the next 5 years. It is due to the growth of the major player. It is important to strengthen the internal and external resources and more focus on quality to gain profit over this period. To improve the quality of their menu, costs are expected to rise. While higher quality ingredients are expected to increase input prices, internal competition will prevent these costs from being passed on to the customer. Smaller players are expected to face further pressure on margin, as many of these operators already achieve lower margin than their larger competitor. This operator may struggle to maintain profitability if their cost base rise too significantly.
In assessing the industry, Porter 5 factors can be used. Porter classified 5 factors that can be used to measure an industry attractiveness. Porter asserts that the stronger each of these 5 factors, the ability of already established firms to gain above average returns and competitiveness in the market becomes limited as well. First factors would be the threat of new entrants. Entry barriers, capital requirement, and knowledge barriers are low for takeaway chicken industry. This will enable new players to enter industry without high financial capital or skilled employee. Second would be bargaining power of supplier. Based on IB's world, the poultry meat farming industry is highly fragmented, where the majority of the industry are sole proprietors operating in small-scale farms. In this case, the consumption of chicken meat increased every year and will become increased number of chicken meat produced by supplier across Melbourne. As the number of consumed chicken will increase and resulted in an increased number of chicken produced and chicken supplier have little bargaining power. Thus, with high numbers of chicken supplier, Gami chicken can easily switch the other suppliers if the switching cost is low. Third one would be bargaining power as a buyer. Bargaining power as a buyer are high both in suburbs or CBD, as there are varieties of other foods and restaurants with more economical price that they can choose from. Fourth would be the threat of substitute product. Takeaway chickens are highly subject to competition from other food industry like restaurant, supermarket, and cafes. This is because their products are easily replaceable with other choice of meal. And the last one would be the intensity of rivalry among competitors. Intense competition made an impact in the price competitions as well. Many other restaurants or operators provide special offers or deals that often offer more varieties of product at a reduced price to leverage their values. Additionally, cafes and coffee shops have adapted to fast-paced lifestyle of the time-conscious inner-city dwellers that demand convenient or instant meals. This affects the revenue of inner-city restaurants. All in all, based on the industry assessment using Porter's 5 factors model, we can conclude that takeaway chicken industry is not very attractive, since 4 of the 5 factors are stronger, making it easier for firms outside industry to enter and compete in the industry easier. When talking about fried chicken restaurant in general, we may include the indirect competitor. However, we are going to talk about Korean fried chicken restaurants industry specifically. Then, the relevant competitor would be the niche, direct, and specific competitors. Several examples of the direct competitor of Gami is ABC Chicken, Nene Chicken, Hwatu, Kaskas, Good Evening, and Darren. Meanwhile, the indirect competitor would be KFC, Nando's, Red Roosters, and Four Fingers. Key success factors are the strategy elements, product and service attributes, operational approaches, resources, competitive capabilities, or any critical areas in an industry that are necessary for firms' competitive success in an industry, according to Ambul and Ambul, as cited in Sanggar and Iaha. The first key success factors that Gami has is the proximity to the market. Operators located in proximity to high foot traffic benefits from greater visibility, which increase consumer convenience and impulse purchases. Examples: Gami has more than 10 stores across Melbourne, and they've always established their restaurant in food-centric streets, which provide convenience and high proximity to consumer. Second is access to niche market. Industry players that can franchise their operation benefit from increased market power and brand awareness, also scalability. Gami built their restaurant specifically to serve the niche or specific market, which is Korean fried chicken and beer. Third one would be the ability to franchise. A recognized quality restaurant that offers a niche cuisine will typically experience less competitive pressure. Gami Chicken are always open for people who want to franchise their brand, as franchising can easily earn recognition. Currently, Gami has 11 shops across Melbourne and 2 in Perth and soon in Sydney. Last one would be having a high profile or reputation in the market. High quality food, excellent customer service are key to gaining favorable recommendation from customers. This encourages new and repeat business. Gami always emphasizes on delivering the best quality of foods and excellent service in developing consumer experience and preferences.
Industrial life cycle of Gami Chicken is in the mature phase, forecast to grow annually 1.2% over the 10 years. This represents an underperformance of the overall economy, with the real GDP expected to increase annually 2.5% over the same period. This is due to the major expansion and enterprise numbers have declined as smaller takeaway chicken shops has been exiting to the industry. All of this trend reflect the industry in the major phase of its life cycle. Other factor is that the demand has been shifting from deep fried to the healthier premium fast food option. I will explain about the strategic map. When drawing position map, first we define the market, choose the price, and then determine the primary benefit. Then we think about the plot position and draw the expected line according to DFME. When drawing strategic map about the Gami chicken, we determine the map based on the location, is it many location or few location, and then according to the price, is it high price or low price. As you can see in the graph here, Gami chicken has the biggest circle in here due to the many location and moderate price compared with Nene chicken. Nene chicken has the high price compared with others and has several locations but not as much as Gami chicken. That makes it the second largest circle in here. ABC chicken, as we can see in the graph, has the highest price compared with others. Daring chicken is the cheapest Korean restaurant, as we can see in strategic mapping. Other restaurants have small circle because they have only one location in Melbourne.
Based on the above internal and external environment assessment, Gami's business activities depicts the employment of the broad differentiation strategy, a strategy that is suitable for firms competing in a broad market scope and requires high uniqueness competency. Relatively, Thomson and others also stated that superior product attributes and quality is a driver of uniqueness, especially when contemporary consumers have lesser compromises on quality. Under the increasing competition among growing number of competitors, product differentiation is necessary to attract consumers who are exposed to the increasingly noisy environment. Differentiating a product does not only increase sales volume due to attractive and unique attributes, but most importantly secures customer retention by establishing brand loyalty, which is vital for Gami chicken to sustain their importance in the industry. In order to be effective in differentiation, consumers' constantly changing needs and characteristics must be carefully studied in order for a product to be appealing to them. Being an example of successful differentiation, Gami's fried chicken is supplemented by its unique 17 herbs golden ratio seasoning on top of its special frying powder base to achieve a perfection on the taste. It is certainly beneficial for Gami to differentiate itself, and physical product modification is the most common approach, but there are some precautions to be aware of. Firstly, firms should not rely on easily imitated product attributes. Hence, building uniqueness through intangible resources can be a good move to overcome the issue. In Gami's context, for fried chicken, businesses are vulnerable to competitors who are able to eventually produce similar or better products over time. The differentiation through their signature recipe may not be as effective as when competition was less intense. Therefore, with much higher accessibility, innovative flavors, and reasonable pricing, Gami chicken has effectively differentiated itself from the intense rivalry without neglecting customers' expectations towards its product and services, which contributes to developing a sustainable advantage. With the sustainable competitive advantage Gami is holding, it also seems to possess the potential to expand further. A recommended international strategy would be transnational strategy. That is a trade-off optimization strategy associated with efficiency as well as learning and adapting to the local setting. In short, the company should think global but act local as consumer characteristics and preferences vary across different geographical regions. Franchising is as an entry mode in a new location would be most preferred, as Gami will face lower costs and lower risk of failure due to the use of standardized business system, which helps achieve economies of scale while expanding the market. However, Gami should note that although the risk is low, but there is still a possibility that it experienced the loss of reputation associated with failure to obey instructions or standards. Therefore, sufficient training is utterly important to prevent the problem. Another important disadvantage to consider is that there may be difficulty in preserving Gami's confidential information, and the franchisor may expose its secret to another competitor. And this can pose a threat to Gami's future development. Therefore, assessing the franchisee's credibility before engaging in a new franchise contract may help reduce the risk. Gami Chicken follows a simple business structure. Its chain of command is shorter, enabling faster and effective communication within the business. This is essentially crucial for Gami to compete in intense rivalry, as immediate opportunities can be easily exploited and quickly implemented to respond to consumer changes. The implemented structure also helps standardize and coordinate business activities across outlets under managers' direct supervision. This ultimately helps sustain Gami's competitive advantage to compete across geographical regions. Rather than focusing on the internal operations, creating a network structure with external partners is also crucial for Gami's success. This can be done by establishing and maintaining cooperative arrangements with affiliated businesses. For instance, with good relationship with local suppliers, Gami Chicken can be assured the quality of ingredients used in making its chicken, which is one of its key success factors. In conclusion, Gami's Chicken has demonstrated a well-balanced allocation of its tangible and intangible resources in building up its capabilities and core competencies. Apart from their product offering, the company is widely spread across Australia, and each franchise operates under a standardized business system, making it highly accessible by customers without diminishing the quality of food and service they promise. This is aligned with Gami's differentiation efforts, as firms should not overly rely on easily imitated product attributes when differentiating themselves, especially when there is intense rivalry in the matured industry. The strength Gami Chicken possesses also have great potential to expand the business internationally by widening its franchise network under a simple organizational structure. Lastly, to answer the aim of this study, Gami Chicken and Beer does have a sustainable competitive advantage over its rivals. That's all for our presentation. Thank you.